Man, it's been a long week since we were last visiting the world of Neo San Francisco 2064.
Yep, and we're gonna let that intro play. Because why not? It's fun.
Yep.
While we wait to see who's joining us.
Music's so good.
Yeah, I really like the music in this. It's very like jazzy punk.
Yep.
Which is probably what they were going for.
Well, it also has that fresh retro feel.
Yeah.
Neo San Francisco, 2064 AD. The world thrives on a constant flow of groundbreaking technology. Cybernetic augmentation and genetic modification allow the repair and enhancement of almost any part of a human body. Millions of people jack into virtual worlds every day to work, play, and connect with one another with advanced brain-to-machine technology. Easier access to genetic modification leaves hybrids looking less human every day. However, some can't keep up with the fast-paced changes around them. They say that ROMs, now commonplace thanks to Parallax, are leading humans to a place where we can never come back, losing the survival skills that we have relied on for millennia. Relationship organizational managers are compiled with virtual intelligence and can seem human-like in their interactions. But despite the marketing hype, at their core, they are only brainless machines.
Ouch.
Organizations, like the Human Revolution, seek to slow the relentless pace of progress, fearing that unchecked technology will make us lose the very things that make us human.
Hey Cal, welcome.
Welcome aboard, Cal.
High above the rising tension below, a parallax
We're just waiting through the
has blurred the line
intro to play, and then we'll get started.
And with this, humanity's destiny will be altered forever.
Yeah, it's definitely a throwback to that era of gaming with its music and the graphics. It's almost a complete clone of the game Snatcher.
Yeah, which was I was just texting with a friend real quick, work related. But we'll get started in just a second. Alright, we're gonna continue. Alright, so because this is an adventure game, you can look around at all the stuff.
Yep.
The back corner is damp and crumpled, frail from the dangers of the wilderness or apartment alley. Your once trusty machine has been downgraded to paperweight status. Sniffle. It's dead, Jim. There's a lot of references in this game.
So many.
Maybe one day the disappointment of being unable to read these pages will inspire you to write on them. Hayden gave this to you. The group is old, but the music is timeless. That's what he said, at least. Maybe a botanist is a better idea.
Ugh. Maybe some other kind of biologist.
Coffee, the great equalizer, the one thing that the poor and the rich alike need to chug through the day, you assume.
Mm-hmm.
The video screen on the front says mustard, half full. Hey, Kimber.
Welcome aboard, Kimber.
I'm gonna talk to Turing.
Okay, we can now either follow Tomcat's lead to KCOB or Fairlight's lead to Melody's home.
Alright, so yeah, 2 ways we could go, which I think from what Joe you were looking up, we have to do both of these things anyway.
It's just the order we do them. I think technically whichever one we choose first will be our chapter 3.
Yeah.
And the next one will be our chapter 4. I wonder if it has any impact on what happens in the other one, like in The Wolf Among Us. In the first chapter, if you go see Prince Lawrence first, you can save him. But if you go second, he
dies, yeah. Cal says, this seems like the old Friday the 13th for NES. Ever play it? Yes. I think I've played the Nightmare on Elm Street for NES.
I've seen the plays of
it depends on what you want
Friday
our
the
focus
13th,
to be on in terms of tracking Hayden's trail. Should we follow the media or the tech?
What should we do?
Media or tech? I mean, either could work. If it was me, I'd probably go with the tech.
Yeah, I was thinking of Tomcat, which is the tech side, right?
I think so.
Up to you where to go first. Ready to head out?
Alright, so the IO Corp is a tech thing, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Here we are. The COS-IO Corporation office building. It looks like most of the businesses on this block are a part of the same corporate coalition under COS-IO. Well, perhaps. At the very least, it means it's unlikely they're the ones interfering with Augmented Eye's articles. Not impossible, but unlikely. Generally, the companies in a coalition don't have a whole lot of overlap. Augmented Eye is a news app focused on local tech and culture stories, with an emphasis on hybrids' rights and cybernetics issues.
Emphasis on the syllable.
Hey, Sam.
Hello, Sam.
None of the other companies in the coalition cover news, so they aren't related at all, which is very much standard practice for these groups. They have nothing to gain by inviting companies with whom they compete, and thus none of them would benefit by trying to undermine Augmented Eye's credibility as a news source. In the early 2020s, the California government was pretty much going bankrupt. A poor national economy and repeated voter initiatives meant the state didn't have the tax revenue to continue running municipal services.
We're doing alright, Sam. How about yourself?
How's everyone in the chat in general?
They kept pushing the tax burden down the totem pole until poorer cities were just flat broke. No police, no road work, complete public service collapse. Then, one of the smaller cities sold all of their public infrastructure, police and fire included, to a private corporation. This was eventually challenged in court, but several Silicon Valley corporations started a grassroots initiative to have citizens pass an amendment to the state constitution allowing it. They succeeded,
Softball
and most
game,
of the
huh?
major cities in the state sold off their public services to private corporations.
That's all Latin to me. Like, I understand it, but without context, I'm like lost, Cal.
Some places, like Los Angeles, just sold to the highest bidder. Which is probably why LA is essentially in a constant gang turf war, with one side wearing the uniforms of the studio-owned police forces.
Studio-owned?
The cities in the Bay Area were a little more selective, and most of the municipal services are owned by multi-corporation coalitions. They split the bill of running the city between them and keep each other from being too corrupt in their usage of the police force and such, from fear of a PR disaster and being kicked out of the coalition. It means there isn't as much money going around, which is why the NSFPD's equipment is out of date and the meshnet is so successful over normal cable networks. After all, without the promise of a city infrastructure bought and paid for, the corporations all treat running the city like a charity and PR stunt. But at least the police aren't irredeemably corrupt. The fire trucks still show up on time, and the water runs to all parts of the city. That can't be said for some areas of the state.
Jeez.
I haven't spent enough time learning about the subject, or politics in general, to give you an educated answer. If I go by the posts people make on the meshnet, I'd say a combination of having bigger fish to fry and caving to corporate pressure. People seem certain that the larger multinational companies would love to be able to buy their own towns on a national scale, and are pumping money into Congress to try and make that happen. They hold up Neo-SF as an example of their success, while trying to bury the problems in LA as an anomaly. Combine that with unrest abroad, and I guess they don't have a whole lot of motivation to try and stop it. Historical precedent seems to lend credence to this interpretation, if you're willing to believe my hasty readings on the subject.
Oh, thanks for boring me. That's mean.
You're
Right?
welcome. I am happy to assist.
So, side note, nothing about this game leads on to the really terrible condition the rest of the world's in.
Mm-hmm.
Everything kind of leads me to believe that, yeah, socially speaking, there's, like, problems, but, like, this world is like a utopia.
Good listener. We got a trophy. Bulbetus riparia, one of the more popular display ferns in recent times. Expensive given the cost of caring for it. The species is native to the threatened tropical forests, but it became popular to import after being endorsed by former child star turned conservationist. That seems very ironic. Doesn't seem to have any data on this species. It must have been crossbred for most genetic beauty. The Cos.io Corporation office building employs a pretty fancy interactive screen out front. If they can keep it outdoors, the electrical work in it must be on another level. A thick paned floor-to-ceiling window inside. There's a bunch of security guards and rows of elevators behind them. A 2062 ZIS-CR coupe, perfect for letting everyone know you spent a fortune of credits on a car. The plant sits safely enclosed in its isolated ecosystem. The fern almost overflows from its wall-mounted holder, making it look like a featureless plastic head with green anime hair.
Nice.
That would be terrible, Cal.
Yeah. I had read somewhere that it's supposed to be both couch co-op and online at the same time.
That sign is not yours.
But I don't know yet. Still waiting to see more about it.
It's voice controlled. The screen begins to cycle through the business listings and your available options. Are you having fun talking to this car? Oh, you are? Oh, well, then please keep talking to it. I like all the little cars going by.
The meshnet says Augmented Eye's SF office is run by an individual named Zin, and Tomcat confirmed she's expecting us. All we have to do now is head up and talk to her. No shenanigans this time.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm. No shenanigans, you say.
Thin poster. One of those bland office paintings. It looks just like color splotches on an off-white background. Not my style, but I like the warm tones. Super Familink. Oh yeah, Super Familink. This plays all the old hits like Yonkey's Peninsula, Water Rash, and Super Slug 3, Revenge of the Super Slug.
Wow. Yeah, Cal, I mean, it's like a lot of those old adventure games.
No shenanigans, Sam. Better go to sleep. The professional care these plants receives puts your well-intentioned yet misguided overwatering to shame. Their leaves glimmer in the sun. They seem almost too perfect, too pristine. Wait, they're fake. Zin must really love her desk plant. It's been meticulously trimmed and treated. A picture of a toupee is an odd thing to frame. Oh wait, that's an animal of some kind. Look at motivational poster. You didn't know people still hung up motivational posters unironically. IK-47. Zin's IK-47 Executive Series ROM designed for office and high-level account maintenance. A swanky-looking desk that curves out at the edges.
Swanky.
Stash of video games. Sweet, an unopened duck game. This game gives me the urge to start quacking uncontrollably. Is something wrong with me?
Yes, but that's not related to that game.
It's not plugged in the monitor and your imagination is only so powerful. The monitor has live updating weather forecast in the bottom corner of the screen.
Maybe later if you find something educational.
Oh, I can't play games.
Or an adventure game. Your investigative skills could use a tickle.
Really?
Okay, I guess I better talk to this lady. A short-dressed woman stares you down. Don't look away.
Hello. Welcome to Augmented Eye. You must be the journalist my network admin said would be showing up. Have a seat. Would you like a drink?
Water would be nice. A Hassy Hot would hit the spot.
Gross.
Ah, good choice. My assistant will bring it right away.
Because don't we have to drink a lot of Hassy to get a trophy?
Look, I'll start off by saying I'm a little uncomfortable about bringing in another journalist to look into this. Whatever you dig up, I'll have to explain to the rest of the press. But it's still better than the other options. Chances are I have another corporation scoping out my territory. If they aren't in the coalition, they'll be expecting a corporate spy, not a news hound. If they are in the coalition, it won't look good for me to send in my own reporters against my allies. Even if I do end up. So if I'm damned either way, I'd rather it be by the media.
That's true, Cal. Later, Sam.
Night, Sam.
At least then we can fight back on a familiar battle.
Hey, Corey.
Welcome aboard, Corey.
Now, what do you know about our problem here? That's the long and short of it. My network admin is pulling their hair out over it. I'm not going to pretend I understand everything they say, but from what I understand, the changes to our articles aren't being made from inside our network. The versions on our servers are still the originals, but at some point after they hit the mesh, they get changed.
We're just doing our investigations.
Yep.
I'm hoping that you can do some digging. Maybe
Nothing
hit up their
impressive,
contacts
just
and get a lead on who might
solving,
be doing it.
crimes and murder and such.
Yeah.
Even if I have to get answers from the nightly news, it will be a big help.
Oh, yes, because I totally work for the nightly news.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly little things. Word choice, tone of the writing, things that make the writer appear more or less extreme on a topic. So far, almost all of the edits seem to be making our articles more positive on new technologies coming out, and more critical of organizations like the Human Revolution.
So they're messing with diction to impact tone? Those jerks!
Oh, Ashley, you're such a nerd.
Yes, and?
That's actually what tipped us off. A harsh criticism one of my writers made about the Human Revolution protests was changed to be downright vitriolic, and I had a hell of a time putting out the fires.
Yeah, I was actually sitting in for that experience. I can only hear Joe's side of things. Sorry that you didn't win, Corey. But you came in, weren't you kind of like a pinch hitter, as they say? Coming in late to the game to...
Like an hour before.
Yeah.
That's not an easy thing to do.
Of course not. But no, I can't wait to see the live episode. I could only hear Joe's side of it, but it seemed like it was a pretty fun thing. He kept trying to stifle laughter.
My writers and readers aren't exactly fans of them, but I'd rather not pick fights with the Human Revolution if I don't have to. I guess I'm not, but my network admin assures me it's all coming from somewhere else. They told me that they tore out all of the routers that broadcast to the mesh and replaced them with fresh ones.
They pre-recorded something, Cal, for a later date.
Yeah. Yeah, we pre-recorded something
all kinds
yesterday.
of tricks involving IP addresses and DNS changes that I'm not going to even begin to claim to understand. I pay them big bucks, so
I mean, you can fake an IP address though, so
tells me otherwise.
Though with the technology levels they have now, it might be harder to.
yeah.
Not really. My admin says that only someone with intimate access to Parallax's network protocols could make these kind of changes as something passes across the net. Personally,
There was some
I
snow.
think it's a clever hacker rather than someone inside Parallax itself. The public trust rating of Parallax makes them look like a saint among wolves, so their control over the mesh network provisions is strangling. It's trivially easy to set up ROMs to use a different OS than LIPS or a different meshnet protocol without that trust. Or, you know, Parallax is abusing its power to spread pro-tech propaganda. Doubtful they need to. I'm sure you'll be a good journo and bring me back the right answer. I know tin hat conspiracies aren't an ideal start, but it's the best we can do with the info we have. Anything else I can tell you, off the record? If you want it on the record, it'll cost you your firstborn and a really good cigar.
I don't know if I'm ready to give those up.
Also, like, shouldn't cigars be super rare now?
Yeah.
I mean, good ones anyway.
Can you think of any reason why you're being targeted, or know if anyone else has articles being manipulated?
Like what? There isn't much more I can tell you about Augmented Eye, really. It's a fairly simple and straightforward operation, if I say so myself. We started off in Venezuela as a sleek current events and news organization in 2055. Almost 10 years ago now.
Why is that making me think of the Belko experiment?
Was
that in Colombia, though?
Yeah, or somewhere in South America. Or Central.
Yeah.
We're one of the few good ones left. Once folks in other cities saw the type
You know,
of
anyone that
reporting
says
we
we're
do,
one of the
they
few
all
good ones
clamored.
left usually aren't any of the good ones.
They
No, they're
invested
probably
in the right places and it paid off. COS-IO Corp is happy to have us here in the OSF. It wasn't until hybrid tech started hitting the public sphere that we had to make any changes to our model. All of that said, I can't see why anyone would target us. Unless they're just trying to embroil us in a mudslinging match with the human revolution, and there are much more direct ways of making that happen. Alright, look. I wasn't going to tell you this. If it gets out, I'd have to answer some really hard questions. So, you didn't hear this from me.
Of course not.
You might want to go check out TMI Entertainment and Charlie Nova. That's all I'll say. And remember, you take a bite out of him with my name as your defense, I drop you fast.
Hey, Tom.
Welcome aboard, Tom.
What? Not wanting to answer prying questions from my coalition board isn't a good enough reason? 'Cause I'd really like to avoid that. And look, you've covered culture wars, right? My journalists are good, but they're mostly good at gadget reviews, implant releases, not taking too many stims so they remember what they did at raves for the after-party reports. This needs an investigative journalist with serious contacts. Not
Because I'm totally that person, guys.
Right?
My one review of headphones means that I am an investigative journalist, guys.
You review on
The fact that my
headphones,
network
yes.
admin recommended
And, you know,
you
other
should probably
things
know the
you've
right
probably reviewed to get paid.
Now, does that cover it? I'd like to remove my nose from your ass.
Ew.
Ah,
No, don't bother. In hindsight, I probably should have been a bit more circumspect about speaking to you.
So that conversation did not go well by that
Plausible
noise.
deniability and all that. I won't ask you to lie in anything you write, but do remember you got in contact with me not even second-hand, but third-hand. I certainly didn't sick you on anyone. Wink wink, nudge nudge, or whatever.
I mean, I just asked all the questions, so maybe I asked them in the wrong order.
If you need anything else, have your person get with my person. Don't come here directly. Now, I'd show you the door, but you know the way. And this isn't the only fire I'm trying to put out.
oh,
Good
but
luck,
it's about to be.
and
There's about to be more
goodbye.
fires. Lights a fire in her garbage can and walks away.
Well, that was more confrontational than I'd have expected, considering she was the one needing help. She never brought you that Hassie either.
Man, now I have to go get another one.
Is it always like this?
She knows the game, but we didn't walk away with nothing. People don't usually give away much. Secrets are expensive. Without lies, there wouldn't be much to write about.
Very true. I will admit that I am interested in the possibility of a link back to Parallax. If all of this really is due to somebody manipulating the mesh net on the inside, it may give us the leverage we need to find out what happened to Hayden once and for all. That said, I will take care not to get my hopes up. We should make no assumptions when investigating, lest we lead ourselves down a false
Nice,
path.
Corey.
Anyway, seems
We
like
got
our
something
next
quick
step
and
is...
easy for dinner. 'Cause...
What the...
Wait, what? Is that her?
What the heck?
Dude.
What the... That's Zin!
Dude, stop traffic.
What the happened? Oh no, we need to go help her. Well, that's one way to get plausible deniability.
I think the snarky should be avoided.
Too late. Considering the angle and height of the fall, rendering suitable aid is beyond our capabilities now. Your desire is laudable, but emergency services are already on the way. They will assist her as much as they can.
Later, Corey.
Night, Corey.
We should head back to her office and see if we can determine what happened here. Perhaps we can still dispense justice.
It's getting super dark.
Yeah. I guess you can't talk to any of the people.
It looks like the desk has been cleared off.
No.
The little robot.
I was gonna
Take a
say that
look
old
around,
game
but
console.
be careful not to disturb any evidence.
What?
Just
The police will be here soon.
Yeah, it'll look real bad that we're here.
right.
Her personal computer is not password protected at the moment. Give me a moment to look through her files. Best to keep your fingerprints off of the keyboard.
No kidding.
Most of this isn't very interesting. Committee reports, financials, article submissions. Oh, here we go. According to this email between Zin and her network admin, her lead on TMI Entertainment is a little more solid than she led us to believe. The admin ran a web crawler looking for changes in writing styles. Some blog posts by their head anchor Charlie Nova stood out like a sore thumb. Apparently he's a bit pompous, if in an affable way, and his blog usually just details his day-to-day life. But ever since the human revolution has been in town, he's been smearing them with more venom than you'd expect, considering how neutral his on-air reporting has been.
Gotta be
Zin
careful
seemed
with
to
the
think he
venom.
was just
Smearing it
complaining
around and
about
get
the
it on yourself.
protesters fouling up traffic, and whoever is manipulating these posts spun it to make him look critical of the movement as a whole. Just like the Augmented Eye journalist. This Charlie fellow is the one we need to talk to. My thermal sensors only detect a single set of lingering footprints, and they end almost 3 feet away from the window. Considering the density of this glass, I can't imagine Zin jumped from that far and managed to throw herself through the pane without help. But who could have
You
done
don't know
it?
her life.
I don't see any obvious marks on the floor or any other thermal hotspots. It doesn't look like it. We should go. There isn't anything else here, and the police are almost on the scene.
Son of a...
Of course. Oh, Lexi.
I should have figured the two of you would be here.
Really? She should have figured we would have been here.
You just won't stay out of trouble no matter what I say, will you?
I assure you, Detective Rivers, we are merely in the wrong place at the wrong time. We had an appointment with Zin to discuss a possible lead and found her office in this state of disrepair.
Of course you did. Damn it.
She's real accepting.
Get the hell out of here before anyone else shows up. We'll chat about the case more when I'm not busy scraping bodies off the pavement. You hear me?
And covering for someone disrupting the crime
Certainly,
scene.
Detective Rivers. I'll forward you a report of what we know immediately, and we can speak further at a later time.
Yeah, whatever. Get moving.
Why did you lie to Lexi? We could have told her about the articles. I didn't think she would buy it. She wouldn't have from me.
Because it's better this way. We are chasing smoke trails. You think she would assist such an unlikely investigation?
Maybe?
I do not need you to infer upon my motivations or highlight my duplicity. Detective Rivers has every bit of information that Zin gave us on that computer. Her investigation will not be hampered by our absence, whereas ours is halted if we're stuck giving answers she can just as well get from a hard drive. Literally. Has it occurred to you that whoever threw Zin out of that window could be after the same thing we are, except to silence the story rather than to get it out? We have little time for fooling about and must get to Charlie Nova before something happens to him too. Now, unless you have further recriminations to level at me, we must not squander the time my dishonesty bought us. I have highlighted the main Neo-SF offices for TMI Entertainment on your map.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Let's go!
A few ED 64 and 72 units have arrived on the scene and set up a perimeter. A police cruiser is awkwardly parked by the office building. Alright, TMI Entertainment, here we come.
I hope some pity for me still remains, considering my recent tone, because I'm honestly not sure where we should start. I suppose we should just ask the receptionist to point us to somebody who can answer our questions.
This is gonna be fun.
Honestly, you do have your own mesh access, yes? I'm
Well, you
quite
kinda broke
certain
my
you can handle
computer.
all the casual searches you might feel like making.
Jeez.
We hardly have time for me to blather out every bit of exposition you desire when you could just go look it up on your own.
Wow.
Fair enough. If you think it will save time, I can continue to rattle off these facts when you ask for them. I just ask that you keep your queries to a minimum. We don't have a whole lot of time.
He's getting
Let me pull up the
sassy.
information you requested.
His internet searching face is weird.
TMI Entertainment is a relatively popular celebrity and gossip news conglomerate. They own OK
TMZ.
Today.
I get it.
They did a good job transitioning from the traditional media models of television and news to the net-based model prevalent now, pioneered by their digital newspaper, OK Today's The Scanline. Some might call their programs rags, but opinion on the mesh seems more favorable than not. They stick to mostly good-natured prying and lean away from the seedier nastiness that paparazzi can get up to.
Hello, hello.
Welcome aboard.
As such, they have a positive relationship with many celebrities and regularly get exclusive scoops that keep their ratings up. despite their refusal to peddle in the darker side of the celebrity news circuit.
Turing is so interesting. He seems so upbeat about everything.
Charlie Nova is TMI Entertainment's most popular TV personality. He's gotten consistently high ratings for almost a decade.
I wonder what his sprite will look like.
I don't know.
The chatter on the mesh paints him as a bit arrogant, but in that loud, backslapping kind of way that a media star can get away with.
I bet he's blonde.
He's best known for hosting Star in the Stratosphere. It's one of those talent-seeking reality programs. Apparently, when TMI can't organically discover enough celebrities, they just manufacture them.
Sounds legit.
Totally.
Oh, and also, according to this blog, Charlie's hair is flawless.
The logo for TMI Entertainment, basic but sleek. Too cheap to steal, too expensive to replace. The sign is full of itself and won't talk to you unless you're a celebrity. A small industrial end table, cute color. Look at the floor plant. The plant is in the corner, supported by a few stakes that are stuck up in the middle of the planter. We can't take it. It's too young to go through that much change. This plant is clearly young. You should encourage it. A hybrid receptionist bobs on her heels. She's either had a long day standing or is just fidgety. I know you're used to computers being your only coworkers, but with humans, you only have to speak to them if you want to do something.
Welcome to TMI Entertainment Incorporated.
Oh, precious.
Have an appointment?
Oh, she's precious.
Wow.
No, but we need to talk to whomever is in charge. We need to speak with Charlie Nova. I have a story we're about to break and wanted to offer TMI an opportunity to comment. What should I say to the receptionist?
I think the other two we're gonna face, the first two we're gonna face like resistance, because it's either talking to whoever's in charge kind of sounds like we're mad at her. She may get defensive. Speaking with Charlie Nova, if we don't have an appointment, then that may not be feasible, but we can appeal to the nature of the magazine, the network.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I should send you to Sympathy then? Oh, she'd be pretty mad if someone ran something without her getting a chance to comment. Go ahead and talk to her. She's on the other side of the room. Don't bother the talent, though. She hates that.
The camera rests in their rigs inactive. They aren't recording. You'll get your 15 minutes another day. You aren't in the right union to operate these. An 8 ONL news ROM putters speedily across the production floor, frantically looking for the next big scoop. The news ROM doesn't care to take a comment from an unaffiliated freelancer. Don't pick it up while it's working. A film assistant of some kind taking a break. What's up? Have you been tuning into the show? It's TMI's lead cinematographer, at least he seems like one.
Hey, you, over here, now. What are you doing bothering my people? thought I told Nina to cancel all my appointments for the day.
I'm gonna say,
I swear that girl could
the hair
find her
looks
ears
super
if I taped them over
fabulous.
her eyes. At least she makes a decent cup of coffee. Yes, I am. And if you don't mind, I keep the show running here, so I'll be brief. What are you doing in my building?
We've been given a lead on a story that involves one of your personalities, Charlie Nova. Someone has been manipulating his articles on the meshnet and turning them into scathing attacks against the human revolution. We're trying to track the culprit, and we need to talk to Mr. Nova to hunt down further leads.
You let your ROM do all the talking for you? Must be one of those new interrogation modules all the fresh meat rave about. Of course I know someone's been modifying Charlie's articles. I'm tracking them down myself. What I want to know is why I should help you snatch the scoop out from underneath me. Super hacker twists meshnet news for personal political vendetta? The clicks basically farm themselves.
Do they though?
We're willing to trade info with you. I'm willing to break the story under TMI's banner. Say that to Zin.
Oh yeah. That's one I would do.
Say that to Zin. Okay.
Zin? Augmented eyes, Zin? What does Zin have to do with this?
She's the one who gave us the lead to begin with. Then, someone threw her out of her office window. We figured Mr. Nova might be next, and we wanted to get to him first.
Holy shit. Fine, I'll let you talk to Charlie. If someone is trying to kill people over this, I'd rather it be out and done with as fast as possible. I mean, shit. We're an entertainment scene. Nobody should die for that.
Well,
Hey, watch yourself with Charlie. He's a pompous clown, but he's my pompous clown. Keep it civil, or I'll throw your ass out and figure this out on my own. Now get on it. I need to make some calls.
He's practically glowing and has people waiting on him hand and foot. Definitely the talent, Charlie Nova. Look, it's June Valmer Anna from OK Today. These 3 desks are built specifically to make the nicest noise when jogging papers on them. If you work in progress, versions of the next show's graphics are being tested on the monitors. It's already on. The day's events go opposite market. Return scroll in all directions on the background screen. Careful what inanimate objects you try talking to, or you could be the next headline. Two cameras have been set up to cover the main news desk. Alright.
Fantastic! How fantastic!
I told you he'd be
I
blonde.
just love your ROM.
Jeez. I get some strong Gilderoy Lockhart vibes from this guy.
Yep.
Not quite as stunning as mine, but still pretty grand. Very sleek, very clean. Bravo.
Oh my god. Get a
Yep.
gleam.
Just like Gilderoy Lockhart.
Oh, Sympathy is doing that thing where she waves at me to hurry things up. Right down to brass tacks then, I suppose. right. I forgot to introduce myself.
We know who you are, Charlie.
I'm Charlie Nova, host of Tonight in the Stars and Star in the Stratosphere. But you already knew that, I'm sure.
Of course.
Well, we can't talk to you, bud.
What can I do for you, Oh, you flatter me. Yes, you do. I can't imagine you've come all this way just to get my story, have you? After all, I've already published my very own splendid 100% original autobiography, Like a Nova.
Yeah, 100% original.
But I suppose
So
I can
ghost
give you
written.
a quick rundown, even if sympathy is giving me the stink eye. I grew up here on the mean streets of Neo-SF, but my jocular nature and striking countenance got me scouted for a few small product advertisements. And the rest is not so ancient history. Now I'm the host of the largest celebrity news show on the Mesh, and I couldn't be happier. It's all thanks to my swarms of fans, though. They're the ones who count.
Yes, any additional information on your station would be greatly appreciated.
Well, it's the best damn network on the planet, I can tell you that. We put out top-notch news and entertainment, but with real heart that our competitors just can't match. But if you really want to know about TMI, you need to know about Sympathy. It's her pride and joy, after all. Sure, she can be a little acerbic, and sure, she calls me a poofy-haired oaf all the time. But you can really tell she cares, you know? Deep down. I'm not sure if that throat-cutting gesture she's making is a signal to move to another topic or a threat against my physical well-being. So, let's move on. What next? Oh, it may have come up in the last lunch meeting we had, but Sympathy assured me that it was some kind of technical glitch, and our support people were on top of it.
Really?
Sure.
They're top-notch, the absolute best money can buy. So I don't think there's anything more to say on the subject.
Nothing more?
Should I go with we've heard of other people's stories getting altered?
It would be interesting to hear him try and explain that away.
Okay.
That's very upsetting. I hope you've passed along that information to Sympathy. I'm certain our tech people will be able to find the culprit in short order once they know enough about it. I really don't know what I have to do with it, though.
I highly doubt this guy could write.
Yeah, I don't think he does either.
What response should we go with? Chuck, I'm sure you're better informed than that, right? You're at the top of this heap, yeah? It's a bit worrying that you don't know more. It was your post they were manipulating.
I would point out it was his post they were manipulating. That's me, though.
And that is supposed to mean what? I'm not sure if you're trying to imply that I had something to do with this, or that I'm being targeted for some specific reason, but if you have an accusation to level, then make it known. My time is far too important to be wasted on beating around the bush.
Dang.
All right, that's enough. Charlie has a show to get ready for. He's told you everything he's going to.
Well, crap.
So get the hell out of here. If you find anything more interesting than what you got, come back and see me again. Directly.
Remember, I'm the victim in all this.
Oh man, she looks really cheesed off now. Do you know how snippy she can get?
Snippy, yeah, that's my concern.
Maybe that'll calm her down.
Do what now?
We're
snippy,
very
that's my
sorry if we
concern.
made your day more difficult. Perhaps I could take the coffee over to Sympathy and we could try to smooth her rumpled feathers.
Yeah, okay, sure. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh no.
The guy who plays Charlie Nova played Beast in Wolf Among Us.
Nice.
And D and
It'll only
Dumb.
take a minute.
All right, but she takes it with plenty of milk.
Huh. He also plays Garrison in Battle Chasers Night War, which is a game we streamed recently as well.
Oh, nice. We could be really bad here.
Well, I don't think spoiled milk's gonna help us.
Yeah.
Unless... Okay, so hear me out. The spoiled milk could distract her, because she'll go over and yell at the assistant.
And we can talk to the guy again.
Get more time in with Charlie without him there.
Should we try to save to see what would happen?
If you want to.
I don't know what are the fine folks watching this think we should do.
I think we should utilize the spoiled milk tactic. But that's me.
Either way, I'm definitely going to take this moment to save.
That's a good idea. What do you guys think in the audience?
Yeah, should we try to use the spoiled milk, and if that epically fails, we'll revert to our save?
I mean, that's what I would do. But I've been advocating for the use of the spoiled milk since day one. So, you know, that's me. I'm gonna find any chance I can to use that spoiled milk. There was something I'd seen online a while back where it was a floppy disk, and some kid was saying that it was a someone 3D printed the save button.
Yeah. Yeah, who would 3D print a save button?
And I was just like,
Whoa, wait to hear from our audience. We should try to put some spoiled milk in this coffee.
right?
I'm gonna take a drink.
It's none of our business. Huh. Alright, I say spoiled milk it.
You think I spoiled milk it?
I think you should spoiled milk
And if it doesn't work, well, we can revert to our save.
Yup.
Wait, hold on, what?
Okay, let's deliver this and make amends.
Oh no!
I thought I told you to beat it. Or do your ears just not work? Ha! Ah, that's cute. I promise I don't bite. I just have a job to do. Sometimes I think Charlie's hair gel seeps into his brain, but he brings in most of our revenue, so his happiness is our top priority. Ugh, my stomach is killing me. Maybe those egg rolls I had earlier. I'm heading to the can, and you're heading to the street.
Ha
So now we can try to talk to Charlie again?
Yep.
Did you want a signed photo?
So we've heard of other people's posts getting altered too. You're telling me you don't know anything at all? Look, Charles is just trying to get to the bottom of this.
I would do that one. But that's me.
It's Charlie. And honestly, I'd absolutely love to help you out. Really, I just don't have the information you're looking for.
I wouldn't call him Chuck.
Okay, we know this won't work.
Right. However, we could take the risk of calling him Chuck is going to agitate him more and he'll lose his composure and spill something.
Yeah.
It's Charlie. And of course, I'm the leading man around here. Who has said otherwise?
Uh-oh, he's getting worried.
I'm not quite certain what you think it is that I don't know, but I assure you that I know what it is. You won't be able to trip me up that easily.
Somebody has already ended up at the hospital over this chip. We're just worried for your safety. If they can access your stories, what else can they get on you?
That's appealing to, like, maybe he knows something. But still, I don't know, man.
I appreciate that, I really do. But I trust Sympathy, and I'd stake my life on her getting this all taken care of post-haste. She's never let me down before, if you don't count forgetting my birthday, and I don't think she will now. You've just gotta have faith in people sometimes, right? That's pretty inspirational in and of itself.
Ah, dang it.
Good goddamn, I don't know what's wrong with my stomach. And didn't I tell you to get the hell out of here? You're on my last nerve, and if you wanted to earn a grudge with me, you're just about there. Move!
That did not go well at all. We need some kind of leverage to get Mr. Nova to give us the information we want. I'm certain he knows something. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Indeed. While you were talking to him, I took the opportunity to look into his history more thoroughly. It turns out he did a series of promos for a local Hassie bar early in his career, and some fans still spot him there from time to time.
Wonder which one that is.
It's a long shot, but frankly, everything about this case has been one long shot after another. Maybe we should question the people at this Hassie establishment and look for any dirt we can use to put some pressure on Mr. Nova. There must be something. It's the only path I see.
Better than nothing.
The Hassie Bar is located on Market Street, near the Genus Clinic. We can head there whenever you're ready.
I wonder which Hassie Bar it is.
I know, right? It's probably the same one we went to earlier. Yep, the one where we made it snow.
And it's still snowing.
That guy's still here.
Of course he is.
Welcome back! Care to take another pamphlet or two? I hope your article is going well. The cold weather has made organising demonstrations a bit difficult, to say the least.
To say the least.
Yeah.
But I refuse to relent in our mission. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, I will not rest until I stop these abominations
Wonder if his hair
from
color is
undoing God's
grandfather's shoe.
almighty work.
What now?
Wonder if his hair color is grandfather's shoe.
No, grandfather's shoe is let's say green, brown color.
Oh, fair.
I feel it's rather simple. It's even in the name. Modifying genes means we are changing the very DNA that makes us unique.
Making us more unique.
We're giving doctors, among other people with a severe lack of understanding of the human condition, the right to make us into entirely new species. We are the byproduct of tens of thousands of years of natural selection and evolution, and now these people want that progress to just be reduced to a formula, to be injected into your skin at your convenience? And why? To fulfill some sick fantasy. We have VR dramas. Leave your imagination at home. Besides, why should we give these self-proclaimed animals the same rights as humans when they clearly don't want to be human?
Wow.
That's a leading question. Of course, some people have life-threatening afflictions, and it's a good thing that science has evolved to treat all kinds of diseases. Simply wanting cat ears and furry tails does not constitute a disease. A disease of the mind, perhaps. If the government strictly limits genetic alteration surgeries to only life-threatening emergencies, well, that would be a start towards undoing the damage. We are not God. We were made in his image, and his image did not include
There it is.
her. That is the greatest misconception of our group. They would have you believe that we'd rather go back to the Dark Ages. Oh, sure, the human revolution wants people to go back to washing clothes by hand down by the river, right? We'll all go back to playing with sticks.
Do we get to live in a
yes?
van?
I mean, I would.
We do not advocate for a reversal of all technology. That would be ludicrous.
No, the speed
We
with which
merely
you want to
want
move would be
severe
ludicrous.
limitations on genetic enhancements, and a focus on medicinal practice beyond gene therapy. That would include an outlawing of cosmetic gene therapy.
Who plays this guy?
People parading around in fur and scales as proud abominations. We need the government to protect these patients from themselves.
Let me see. Voice actor by the name of Jim Sterling.
That name sounds familiar.
Through some concerted efforts, we've created
He
an
has not done
alliance with
very
a
much.
number of businesses banning service and employment of unhumans.
Yeah, he hasn't. He's
Yeah,
not
they
done
call
a whole
themselves
bunch.
hybrids, but we call them what they are. I can't respect those who willingly trade their humanity away. Thanks to our efforts, many local businesses are finally gaining the confidence to only serve human beings.
Wow.
If they wanted to feed animals, well, they'd open up a pound.
Wow,
Why,
this
just
guy's
the
a
other day,
jerk.
a Neo-SF landlord thanked me for supporting his decision to deny tenancy to unhumans. He already feels better about his decision to seek out our help. Plus, can you imagine the cleaning fees?
Wow.
Great! Do tell me when you get the article out. I love to read the comments.
Yeah, the comments are gonna be
Forgive me
great.
if I'm wrong, but doesn't most of the meshnet speak critically of your organization?
Oh, that's cute. The robot wants to join in the discussion now.
Oh.
Yes, this is true. Though historically, most revolutionaries are unpopular when they're in the middle of the fight. I sleep comfortably knowing that history will be on my side.
I'm thinking he's on the wrong side. I promise I'll write a fair assessment of the situation. I'm not gonna lie, you haven't really convinced me.
I mean, it really depends if you want to lie to his face or be honest with him. The promise, I'll write a fair assessment, could probably benefit you insofar that he'll be more forefront or more like willing to talk to you about stuff.
Yeah, I better leave the line of communication open.
Why, thank you. I appreciate bold integrity from good journalists like yourself. Oh, please do. Have a lovely day now. And remember, God designed you perfectly just the way you are.
I want to get some cat ears.
Right? It would have been nice to have that as an option here to go undergo like gene therapy or something.
Don't bug it. It already seems to be in a stormy mood.
Well, if it isn't the luckiest jerk I've ever seen in my life.
Uh-oh.
I had to schedule a specialist to come fix my ROM, and you better hope they can. Oh well, all's well that ends well. I underestimated how much people would appreciate an early Christmas.
Huh.
Anyway, what can I do for you? Sure. I still have a little bit before closing, and I could use some conversation to distract me from the anticipation of the VR drama I have waiting for me when I get off.
Oh, this lady is
what do you
precious.
want to know?
You know, having worked as much retail as I have in customer service, I get it.
Charlie is a complete trip. We met when he was just starting out doing adverts. He still drops in every once in a while to hang out. I love the guy. He's super funny, always has the best stories, and his hair is perfect. And he parties harder than anyone I know. A couple weeks ago, he invited me to this raid at some hole that's probably already shut down, and he got so amped up on Crash that he jumped up on the table and hosted an impromptu dirty dancing contest.
Wow.
So this is some good intel.
I swear, if he was in Charlie Nova, we would have gotten chucked out on our asses, but it was a lot of fun. If you want to meet him, just hang around here long enough. He loves mingling with his fans. Not that it helps his ego any.
This is pretty innocuous. We are going to need more evidence if we're to fabricate a believable story that will convince Mr. Nova it's in his best interest to help us.
Talk to the other people around there, maybe there's something.
You don't have internal hookups, do you? The older sets are all helmets that use electromagnetic waves to stimulate the neural pathways in your brain to induce the desired sensory input. It's pretty crude though, which is why EM hats give you that dreamlike experience. It doesn't quite feel real. The Direct Link network has way higher fidelity. It's like actually being there. And since the Direct Link can interrupt your primary motor cortex, you don't have to take muscle relaxers to keep from flailing around. But some people are still scared off by it. Well, it's pretty invasive. They inject this smart polymer into the base of your skull, right at the brainstem, and it crawls along your primary neural pathways and bonds to your major sensory centers.
What? That sounds terrible.
It's been safe for almost a decade, but a lot of folks are still pretty skeeved out by the idea of having a bunch of conductive plastic coating in the inside of their brains.
Yeah.
Plus, for the 24 hours or so that is hooking everything up and self-calibrating, you start to have intense hallucinations because of all the electrical crossfiring. It's a trip, I'll tell you that. But no worse than the stuff people have been taking for millennia. Watching the world melt. Anyway,
that seems much worse than what people are doing.
Yeah, no.
Just let me know.
Like, the end result doesn't seem so bad, but the way she described it just made it seem so much worse.
It's an ongoing drama called Magical Commander Yukino. Yukino at the Gates to the Deep. In it, you play the magical girl Yukino as she fights off elder gods as they arise from the ocean.
That sounds super Mythosian.
Yeah, like Cthulhu.
It's a bit cliched and just about as silly as you would expect, but it includes some really interesting intersection between the Japanese magical girl trope and the American Cthulhu mythos.
Nice.
Nice. Because when you think of Cthulhu mythos,
I think fought with a magical girl and with pseudo military.
This makes you think of Channel A.
This makes me think of a part of a Sakura something or other, but it was set
Sakura
like post,
Wars.
Yeah, it was like set post World War II, and it's like a troupe of musicians and entertainers and stuff, and they also pilot mechs.
Yeah.
But they're all like steam powered mechs, because that's like that's a thing to do, like weird history thing.
No, this makes me think of the game Channel A, where you basically, like, everybody has to pitch a show based off of a theme, and one of the themes is Cthulhu mythos.
Yep.
And Magical Girl is another theme, and I'm pretty sure we've played that round, and there's been some weird pitches done. That's a fun game.
It is.
In the newest episode, Yukino has to face off against the Yip as they try to inhabit the bodies of people in the present to escape their destruction in the past.
Nice. That's actually pretty accurate for the if.
Nice. So there's a lot of deep cuts in this game.
Yeah. Accurate deep cuts.
Not really. Video games are about winning and manipulating the mechanics of the system to get ahead, right? Dramas are more about inhabiting the role of the character. There are rules, but they're mostly about behaving consistently in the fictional world. It's a bit like being an improv theater, except if you get too far out of your character, the system boots you out and you have to start the episode over. Everyone experiences the drama a little differently, but it stays broadly consistent because you have to maintain the behavior of the character you're inhabiting. It requires you to really get inside the head of another person. I like it better than VR games, but that's just me. It's the best! Super awesome! If you need any other suggestions, just let me know. I played through a little bit of everything. I'm sure I could find something you'd like.
I mean, everything?
Maybe a detective drama. Anyway.
I'm sensing a little meta humor here.
A little bit.
Sure. Just let me know if you need anything.
I'm gonna order several Hassies.
Oh my god.
A Blue Bud Hassie. You buy a grassy Hassy shot, yum.
Gross.
You go for another with a crystal Hassy. How about a super large Hassy?
Oh my god.
Maybe a half-in Hassy.
Oh.
You buy a salty lassie Hassy, yum.
Check your inventory here in a second.
You don't get them in your inventory.
Oh, you just shoot them directly?
Yeah. So count off how many I'm ordering. Mango Hassy. Super large Hassy. Alright. So we got the Hassy trophy finally.
We did.
Alright. A Hassy bar customers tend to be regulars with new Hassy hot cups. You could last all day here.
Gross.
I haven't seen you around here before. Is there something I can help you with? Another one of his fans, huh? Yeah, he comes here sometimes. I don't really get why everyone likes him so much. What's your issue with him? Well, I have a picture from this time he flipped off a box of kittens!
There you go!
Somebody brought them to try to give away and one of them scratched him up. He ended up taking it home, but he really hammed it up about getting scratched. I think he ended up calling him, I think it was Captain Snuggles. It was pretty funny, actually. I'll send your Rom a picture. It's your friend Keith enjoying a Hassy. I don't remember having a friend Keith.
Oh, hey, it's you! Wow, long time.
Who's this?
It's Keith, an old buddy of mine, apparently.
Not too old.
Interesting.
Now.
Yeah, I don't know, he sounds pretty old.
He also looks like he's like 10 years old.
But he sounds like he's 40.
Did you manage to keep that plan I got you alive? Really? Nice job. I didn't expect it to last a month. It's great to see you, though. Sorta surreal, too. You're never around on social sites or anything, you know. I bet you didn't see any of the pictures I put up from my last climbing trip in Colorado.
Ashley, do you recognize this voice?
Mm-mm.
Listen a little closer. Tell me if you do.
For a tech journalist, you do have pretty poor net presence.
That's what I said.
Figures. So, what's with the bot? Yours? Really? Huh. I didn't think you liked to bring work home, as it were. Anyway, it's great to see you. What brings you to the Hassy Bar? Doing a review of that sweet weather ROM outside or something?
Would you like to know the voice actor for Keith?
Sure.
His name is Terrence McGovern. His most notable performance is as Launchpad McQuack in the original DuckTales series.
All right, now that's the
I can
kind
hear
of
it now.
journalism I'm talking about.
Gee, Mr. McD.
Indeed, we're looking into some accusations made against Charlie Nova. And we're actually trying to build up a solid case against him.
No shit. I actually may have exactly what
We
you
just
need.
heard Launchpad McQuack drop an S-bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie comes here all the time. You know that show he's host of, Star in the Stratosphere? That show where normal people try to become actors and singers and all. Listen to this recording I made when he was here last month on his book tour.
Uh-oh.
So many people come up to me thinking that if they can sing or act, I'll just make them a superstar. But that
That isn't how it works. Raw talent isn't enough to get you by in this industry, and anyone who thinks so is lying to themselves.
Thanks, Cal. Night.
Night, Cal. Thanks for coming in and yeah, like she said.
You gotta want it, and want it bad. But the kids I get on Star in the Stratosphere, which I host each and every week, as you all know, they're all so young and hungry. I love them. I do my damnedest to make sure they get what they want. They give me their best, so I'm gonna give them mine.
It's not much, but it might help you build a case if you chop it up right. Just keep my name off it. I post.
So we're supposed to manipulate that to make it sound bad.
I think the flipping off a box of kittens is legitimately a little worse, but you know.
Well, if nothing else, the threat of this dropping on the mess should get them talking. Here, I just made a copy for you. Anyway, I'd love to catch up soon. For now, I'll let you keep at it. You can usually find me here if you want to chat again.
Say, why did you tell Keith that I belong to you? I'll thank you to remember that I am not the same as any ordinary ROM that exists to be subservient. I don't like being forced to assert my independence as a unique individual, but I really thought you were above this. Anyway... Frankly, I'm starting to feel a bit uneasy about this. Mr. Nova's clearly an upstanding individual, if just a bit boisterous. But I suppose if we're in for a penny, we're in for a pound.
Nice.
This should be more than enough anecdotal evidence to fabricate a less than flattering image of Mr. Nova that the public will eat right up. Let us present our story to him immediately. Hopefully our delay has not put him in physical danger.
Hey, you two! I think I'm gonna have to let security know that you're not allowed back in the building. Doubtful, but let's hear it. Never let it be said I didn't give someone a chance to dig their own grave.
Alright. Which one shall we go with? Has Charlie been having parting problems? Look at this. Not much of an animal lover, are you, Charlie? I bet the world would love to hear such an inspirational pep talk.
I think the parting problems would be a good place to start. Yeah.
So what? I like to show people a good time. There's nothing wrong with that.
Damn it, I told you to get off the crash, Charlie. Shit like this keeps coming up.
I did. And besides, I wasn't doing anything illegal.
Anyway, this is just pathetic. This is really your best attempt at blackmailing us?
Hey, that's completely out of context. And I love Captain Snuggles. Sure, we didn't get off to a good start, but he's a great cat. The best.
Charlie, flipping off a kitten? Why? Whatever, this is still nothing but hot air. You need to step up your game, kid.
Ha! You're just grasping at straws. This speech was truly a beacon of light for the entire entertainment community. There's no way an original sermon like that is going to convince anyone that I'm a bad guy.
Well, with some creative editing. You go public with this flimsy smear piece, I'm gonna tear you apart.
Oh, enough, enough! I'm not cut out for this cloak and dagger game, Sympathy. What's the big deal anyway? It's not like they've got anything substantial to use. I might as well give them what they want, so they'll go away.
Tell them whatever you want.
Boom.
And I'll be taking that evidence.
Aw.
You didn't have to do all of this. I would have helped if you had just asked. But
Really?
It's always push and dig and needle, isn't it? I'm not a journalist. I'm just an anchor. I read off a teleprompter and look good doing it. I don't have much to offer you.
And you said the Beast plays him?
Yeah, the guy who plays Beast in Wolf
Trust
Among
me,
Us.
I'd love to lay down some earth-shattering pronouncement and dazzle you with my investigative skills, but all I've got is flimsy threads at best. The thing is, all this stuff with my stories, stuff getting changed, making me look like I don't like the human revolution or whatever, it started after I had an upgrade made to my VR uplink hardware. The technically legal kind.
Technically.
Look, I like to have a good time at a party, right? But Sympathy keeps hammering on me for pounding back too much crash and whatnot. Nothing illegal, but she says it makes me look like shit on camera the next day. So I went to this guy I know, good guy, everyone uses him. He's called Nanya.
Nanya.
Like Nanya.
Nice.
He does great work. After just one simple back alley brain surgery, bing bang boom.
Just one simple.
Right?
I can use an app to make my VR uplink have the same effect on my brain that the stims do, without all the nasty physical side effects. It could be a coincidence, though. The tech guys didn't find anything wrong with my uplink, and they say the modifications check out. But that Nanya guy does a lot of work for media people around here, so if a bunch of posts are getting changed, maybe that's your weak link. Anyway, that's it. Pretty flimsy, but I'll send you the address and you can go talk to him. If he'll even see you, that is. Well, we took far too long to get to it, but I'm quite happy to assist in any way that I can. Just make sure you source me in your article, right? Maybe run a rough draft past me and I'll give you some quotes.
Oh yeah, totally.
I'm certain that'll help signal boost the story all the way to the stratosphere. Give it the old Charlie Nova bump. Maybe we can smooth out all this silliness between us. Anyhow, I really have to get back to work. Let me know how it goes with the murderous hacker thing. My ROM will call your ROM.
Ugh.
I film for my friends. You'll get very little of me.
Nice hairdo.
Let me know how it goes with the murderous hacker thing.
He sounds like he's trying to channel Phil Hartman.
Yeah, I was getting that vibe too.
She's so nice.
Yeah. such a nice part of town.
I'm awfully nervous and still a bit shaken up. Let's hurry and get out of here.
I'm going to take a moment to save.
I'm so glad the sour milk got its use.
Yep.
I'm a little sad that that use wasn't being flung in someone's face, but I'll live.
Box of donuts on the ground.
That sounds like a trap.
A box of stale-looking donuts sits on the ground. Their conversation is as stale as their cakey exterior. This is genius. The contrast of the art's colors to the walls, the way the letters stretch out. Not to mention the accented punctuation amplifying the outcry. Who are the junks, and to whom are they unworthy? You don't think you should be reaching past the professional wrestler in front of you. Right. You open your mouth to speak, but you remember a picture is worth 1,000 words. An industrial-sized air conditioner rattles near the windows. A few strips of paper flap around its vents. It's not a very hot topic, rather room temperature. A thick grate covers the window, making it look like the outside of a prison cell. It's too high to get a grip on, even when jumping from the sidewalk. No shady figure, or any figure for that matter, appears to respond to your calls from the street. Look at Tough Boy. Tough Boy is scribbled shoddily on the building in spray paint. It's not very illustrative. Isn't that a phrase people say when they see this?
Oh my god.
Omwe Mo Shinderu. That's the one. Find yourself lacking the rough edge needed to express yourself in street art. In fact, you pretty much lack rough edges in general. How does the game know? There is nothing to add. The message has gotten across rather well.
Okay, so the thing he just said, the Omewa Mo Shinaderu, is from Fist of the North Star.
Oh, nice.
Which is an anime from the 80s, post-apocalyptic martial arts anime thing. It basically means you were already dead.
Oh, fun!
And it's the main character's like catchphrase after he does his like signature technique. Like he'll like jab a dude hundreds of times, and the guy's like, what? And then he says his thing, and then as he turns his back, the guy like explodes.
There's a cat.
Kitty? Oh my god.
A moderately large tabby cat basks
in his own self-satisfaction.
Yes, seems very satisfied about being a cat. The little kitty squints its eyes and says wet. No idea what that means at all.
That was like the best like MIDI meow ever.
Too high to see up anything on the building except a few shelves. A defiant young wrestler is leaning up against the brick wall. This wrestler is the powerhouse in the Neo San Francisco Wrestling Federation's hot new stable, the Violent Wings. According to the Mesh, they are a group of highly ranked wrestlers who form up a sort of battalion.
Howdy! You can call me Cactus Canary!
Okay then.
Our aerodynamic assault will rain down on you from the heavenly skies! One day, I'll conquer everyone else in the Neo-SF Wrestling Federation and become the NSFW World Heavyweight Championship!
Not safe for work, World Heavyweight Championship.
Champion! Champion. Until then, I'm the Violet Wing for life!
Hey there, I go by Night Witch. My name has some pretty cool history behind it. We're some badass ladies who'll bomb hellfire on anyone. You should come to our New Year's show, NSFW New Year's Smash! There's nothing better than seeing one of our patented bombs-away finishers in person.
Bunch of crushed up plastic have joined with miscellaneous rubbish down near the gutter. There isn't a recycling bin nearby, so there will be no sense of smug satisfaction in grabbing it.
I think this is the place, but of course it lacks any appropriate signage.
Naturally.
Frankly, the state of this industry and the current political climate don't give me much hope for my own legal status when word inevitably gets out about me. Regulation regarding cybernetic implants is a massive intersection between medical and tech industries. I'm rather surprised the Human Protection Act was even passed, but I suppose the possibility of hybrid genetics being passed on to offspring meant there was a considerable push from biotech companies due to patent law, and the laws about cybernetics got tacked on. Never mind. I'm just ranting. This entire investigation has been frustrating. Let's get in there and get this over with. Wait, those are... sure, why not?
Sweet, we got donuts.
Hold up there, Speedy.
Oh man, this guy sounds cool.
I've never seen the two of you around here before, and I know everybody. Why don't you let me know what's going on here first before you start barging through people's doors, feel me?
This guy's too cool for words.
Yep.
He carries around
Hello?
his own microphone to be cool.
We're just here to speak to Nanya about something.
Maybe that's none of your business.
Just got into town and you're already asking favors from folks, huh?
Actually, we've lived here forever.
Like forever.
Hissed, my little blue friend.
What? No, it's not like that. Listen, we don't want any trouble, but we're kind of in a hurry.
Trouble? There's no trouble here. We can be friends. I like this one. You're a little more street smart than your blue bot buddy here, I see. No, I like you two. You're cool in my book. And since we're all such good friends now, maybe you'll be willing to give back to the community and do a favor for your new pal Formula first.
What kind of favor, what kind of name is for Moolah?
An awesome name.
Don't you worry about that. You see, I'm a budding street musician. Working on my next big hit. Feel me? But I'm sort of stuck on a few lines. I just gotta get these last few rhymes right. Maybe you could share a little of your creativity with me and see what we come up with. And it'll be fun.
Are you sure about this?
I mean, we don't have a choice, probably.
You know how important this has
Maybe.
become. Time is of the essence.
You don't have time to not help me.
Oh,
exactly.
Right.
Huh?
What do you think would take longer? Helping an up-and-coming singer-songwriter finish a guaranteed worldwide hit? Or you could ignore me and maybe I'll send over an anonymous tip to the Neo SFPD. You see, I know for a fact that everything inside this shop here is 100% legal. But I bet whatever you got in your mind sure ain't.
Uh-oh.
Even if they didn't find anything, it'd take the rest of the day to iron out. People like you don't come down here for anything boring. We clean up good. How well do you cover your tracks when you're in such a hurry, I wonder?
This isn't good. If Lexi in particular gets suspicious and starts tracking us down, things will become rougher for us.
Much.
So much rougher.
Not to mention all the other people it could indirectly affect. This whole case is life or death.
So true.
I mean, 2 people are dead now related to it.
Kind of a dramatic rhyme. But I made my point clear. If you don't help me out, I'll make sure you never get in to see Nanya at all. He's my buddy. Done me a favor or two, so I return him when I'm asked. That's how we do things around here. I knew you'd see it my way. All you gotta do is help me complete my rhymes, you dig? A couple of them are just missing a word or two, but if I really want to make this song fantastic, I'm gonna need some killer inspiration. It's gonna be super cred. Anyway, you ready for this? Gonna give it a shot? That's what I like to hear. Here's the first line I'm having trouble with. You ready? It's my favorite season, only comes once a year. I'll show you the true meaning of, hang on a second.
Christmas cheer.
Really?
Holiday cheer. That works too.
It's my favorite season, only comes once a year. I'll show you the true meaning of my holiday cheer. Hey, yeah, that totally works. Great idea, thanks a ton. Here's the next line. Ready? Pay attention now.
Yeah, I don't think I should make it bad this playthrough.
If you bring mistletoe, you knock me off my guard. And if you want my number,
Dude, you're terrible.
You know, for this one, I don't think words are gonna be enough. I'm gonna need some inspiration to make it come together. If you've got anything to show me that you think will help me out, let me know.
So check your items. ID card, headphones, electro laser pistol, business card, Brochure for the Human Revolution. Junkie Donuts. I would go with ID card, because it rhymes. But that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Okay, nope. So ID card or business card?
ID card.
If you bring mistletoe, you knock me off my guard. But if you want my number, I'll let you scan my ID card. Hey, that totally works. Really, thanks so much. I'd never be able to write a song like this without you.
Now I really want that spoiled milk back.
Right?
A Christmas-themed love song?
Not too far off the mark.
Aren't those supposed to be pretty tacky?
Alright, now I need your help with just one more line. I promise it's the last one. This one's been driving me up a wall. I hope you can tackle it as well as you did the others. Ready? Here we go. This is harmony. I think we're vibing the same tones. We can ride this beat with a nice pair of, damn it.
Headphones.
This is getting embarrassing. There's no way to salvage this one without some seriously fresh inspiration, yo. Don't lose hope. I'm sure it'll hit us any second now. This is harmony.
No, I don't
think we're
feel
vibing
you.
the same tones. We can ride this beat with a pair of GX Ultra beats.
What?
That doesn't rhyme. Oh man, you totally threw off my style with that one.
Come on.
I'm gonna keep thinking, but let me know if you come up with anything new.
Haven't you ever rapped before?
They're headphones, man. Headphones. Business card.
Donuts.
Man, I guess.
This is harmony. I think we're vibing the same tones. We can ride this beat with a pair of yummy Christmas scones.
Wow.
He does know those are donuts, right?
This is so much moon logic.
Now that's what I call a tasty beat. That was amazing. I can't believe you pulled it off. Whatever you do for work now, it doesn't matter. You should become a musician.
At least we earned a trophy for making a bad rhyme.
We totally become rivals, and I bet you that... On second thought, you keep your day job. This is my territory. You feel me? But you did help out in a huge way, so I guess you're cool. Go on in and see Nanya whenever you want. I'll just be chilling out here, soaking up the inspiration of my surroundings, baby.
Here, you can keep the scones. It was nice meeting you, Four Moolah.
Hey, you too, little Bob Blue. Hey, that kind of rhyme.
Let's go.
Oh, poor Turing. We do not need that show, Sam.
We do not know. Because there's just too much extra work.
A colossal mess of tangled wires sprawls on the floor. Now you can't even begin to clean this up. The flashbacks of the wall socket behind your work desk are just too much. A small panel on the wall belches out many loose stray wires. Maybe they're for powering the surgery equipment? The screws are practically shredded. The panel casing isn't going anywhere. Lung augment, spine augment, cybernetic arms, all made by the Dynamo brand. Poking at the screen causes a ring of color to ripple out from your fingertip. Screen doesn't respond to verbal commands at all. Doesn't even look like its information can be upgraded anywhere but the back end. The thick, slightly opaque window makes it hard to see the finer details of the operating room, but you can still make out the basics. Tables, stretchers, complex-looking surgical equipment, and supply cabinets. You fog the window up and draw a stick figure. It's in just the right way to make it look like it's undergoing its own upgrade surgery. Nice. It says surgery in progress.
Definitely don't want to interrupt it then.
This wide desk has seen better days, truly. A large circular screen scrolls through upgrade options and parts available in the store.
This is known as a CRT monitor. Almost nobody still uses them anymore. They're very outdated.
Not exactly prime advertising real estate but for implants you can't get much better. It's a speech compatible screen, not touch capacitive. Saying one of the available ocular upgrades allowed brings up a list of payment options. This guy is one of the most serious people you've ever seen.
Nope.
Okay then.
Nope, I don't know you. You got someone willing to vouch for you? If not, get out of my shop. Moolah? That guy's a hoot. Keeps out the riffraff and fakers too. But seriously, where did you hear about me? Charlie? Yeah, I remember him. That TV guy runs his mouth a lot. Yeah. Paid good enough. Alright then, what can I do for you?
Charlie said your name is Nanya. We have something important to ask you.
Sure, if that's what you want to call me. If your credit's clear, you can call me whatever you want.
Can we call you Al? Can I be Betty?
Enough foreplay. What can I do for you? A fresh install, custom firmware, maybe an upgrade. I can pretty much do it all. But most people come in here for VR implants. Turns out brain surgery is expensive, yeah?
I mean, who would have thought?
Yeah, it's just a hyper-specialized, you know.
We're in a bad situation. Local news articles are being mysteriously altered after they've been posted to the mesh, even while the originals are still online. Charlie Novas are being manipulated as well, and he pointed us in your direction. It didn't start happening until after he had his implant upgraded.
Interesting.
Did you know anything about that? What kind of parts did you use for Charlie exactly? Have you had issues with the human revolution?
I think the parts would be a good question, but that's, you know, again, that's me.
What are you, cops? No, worse. You're journalists. Get the hell out of my shop!
Oh, Lord.
I have a business to run. I don't have time to answer shit about shit that don't got shit to do with me. You found the door before, find it again. And tell Charlie he can get someone else to do him a rush job when he's back on stims and needs a workaround. He ain't welcome around here anymore.
Well, that didn't go well.
That did not.
Give us a moment, please. I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired of being given the runaround by these meat bags. We could just find some bribe or blackmail to get what we want from this Nanya. But I think it's time to take matters into our own hands. I have an idea. Keep him occupied for a few minutes. Just do what you normally do and ask questions. Nothing about the blog post, though. We don't want to set him off. Just keep him talking. It'll only take a minute.
Are you gonna get going, or am I gonna have to call someone to make you get going? Damn straight. Now get out of here!
I think the second one is probably a better one.
This one?
Yeah.
I didn't!
We were just hoping to get some more background information on the kind of implant he has so we can follow other leads.
Shit. Fine, whatever. I'll tell you what you want, within reason. Doctor-patient confidentiality and all that. Just promise me it'll get you the hell out of my shop a little sooner.
Deal. Sorry for this. Our circumstances have gotten serious. We're following anything we can all the way to the end.
There's no way to hack a VR implant like Charlie's. I mean, you can definitely install hostile firmware on one, but you can't just load whatever program you want without the user's knowledge. Any changes to the loaded firmware will trigger some really obvious visual indicators to let you know something's being changed, and those are put in on the hardware level. I've never heard of anyone being able to circumvent them. The only person who could have loaded hostile firmware on there is me. And don't try and go there. I get paid too much to risk my reputation over changing a few blog posts.
What about using the mesh to mess with the implant? Is there some way to change the input remotely?
No, the implant itself doesn't have any kind of wireless connection. You have to use a headset with an induction coil for I/O. Wireless just doesn't have the bandwidth for it. You might be able to try infecting a ROM with some virus that screws with the I/O, but you only use a connection to a ROM for AR HUDs. They can't handle full simulation. You'd need a full rig and a hardline connection to the NEC to do that. So, I'd give it a big maybe. If that's actually how it all happened, they probably would have found whatever infected his ROM way before you showed up here to bother me.
Could it have just been faulty parts? Not to be too blunt about it, but this field of expertise is a little disreputable. Maybe your supplier sent you an implant with something fishy preloaded.
Look, I get it. I'm working out of an old auto garage on the bad side of town. But I'm a fully licensed cyber surgery tech. This entire business is legitimate. It isn't illegal to install custom parts or firmware in any current generation implants. It just breaks the warranty. My business keeps a low profile, so we don't run into bogus patent infringement lawsuits from Flower Cybernetics or whatever shell company they decide to come after you with.
That's the other
All
part
of
of
my
the
parts are sourced direct
investigation
from the
is the
original
flower
manufacturer,
part.
completely above board. So if they're bad, they were built bad by the factory. Now, is that all? I have appointments to keep. Yeah, whatever.
I hear drills in the background, and that makes me really uncomfortable.
Huh?
I hear drills in the background.
Yeah.
That makes me really uncomfortable.
I've done nothing wrong. Oh.
You may not know this, but I have a finely tuned sense of electromagnetic fields. All ROMs do. We need to be able to maintain optimal contact with the mesh, catalog and use various wireless transmissions, and avoid areas with dangerously high interference. Your stock off-the-shelf ROM has very little command over the frequencies available to be scanned. But I'm starting to realize how very little of me is stock or off-the-shelf after the changes Hayden made. That means when the humidity is low, the air fairly sings for me, amongst other things. Meaning, in layman's terms, I could read his monitor over his shoulder while being across the room. Well, some. I doubt I could have handled an LCD monitor. They require extra parts I just don't have. And
but that CRT...
Anyways, Nanya looked up his client records on Charlie, and I got some of the names of his other customers off of the spreadsheet. One in particular stands out, Shotaro Otsuka.
Okay.
That sounds flimsy, or what's the relevance?
Relevance to me.
Mr. Otsuka is a moderately prominent tech blogger, respected, perhaps a bit vitriolic. He catches my attention, though, because historically he has been very critical of parallax in his posts. Recently, though, the tone has been increasingly moderate, and now he is almost effusive in his praise. His fans are accusing him of shilling for the company, but many of his earliest posts show some of the same manipulations that we saw from Augmented Eye and Nova's blog.
So
now,
another
it's like he's
example.
Being ghost-written entirely. Couldn't hurt to check, right? I've marked the location of Shotaro Otsuka's apartment on your map.
And that will lead to another clue.
And that will lead to another clue.
After you.
Oh, it's rainy now.
Yep.
This is the building.
Mr.
Mr. Otsuka must do well for himself, considering the neighborhood. Not the priciest section of Neo SF, but nice enough for a self-employed tech blogger. Perhaps we should just ring the bell? We both know it won't be that easy, but it's important to maintain some courtesies.
I'm gonna save.
Yeah, it's a good idea, dude.
Did you know that palm trees used to be much more common around, almost a city staple? The trunk is prickly and rough as far as you can reach. What's shaking, tree?
Not it.
A gorgeous picture window with engraving and crown molding. The design is just slightly worn from weather and general outside hazards, but is in surprisingly good shape. They're holding a colorful umbrella. Wish you had thought ahead like that.
Hey! Didn't I see you earlier at TMI?
Yeah, we didn't get to talk to this person.
Nice to meet you. I'm Sky.
He did it.
My gym's closed this week for the holidays. Gonna see some family tomorrow.
Probably.
Why do autocabs take so long to get out to this part of the city? Don't they know people have places to go? I'm gonna see if the gym in Burbank is still open.
Isn't that a little far?
You weren't prepared for the weather,
Sounds
huh?
like it.
Your ROM looks fancy enough to keep track of that. My gym's closed this week for the holidays. Gonna see some family tomorrow. Why do autocabs take so long to get out?
Okay, I think I've seen everything.
Shouldn't we try the doorbell before we break in?
Nope. Break in first.
Dr. Jacoby glasses, yeah.
Yep.
Greetings, guests. I am LJ2, Shotaro Otsuka's ROM. Shotaro was not expecting any company at this hour, but I will let him know you are here. Sorry for the wait. Please hold on for just a moment while I fetch him.
Mr. McD.
That's encouraging.
That's also Terrence McGovern.
That was odd. Maybe try the bell again.
Greetings, guests. I am LJ2, Shotaro Otsuka's ROM. Shotaro was not expecting any company at this hour, but I will let him know you are here. Sorry for the wait. Please hold on for just a moment while I fetch him.
What is taking so long? All right, third time's the charm, right? Once more, with feeling.
With gusto.
Greetings, guests. I am LJ2, Shotaro Otsuka's ROM. Shotaro was not expecting any company at this hour, but I will let him know. Sorry for the wait.
Ah! Why can't this ever be easy? I swear I'll blow out a fuse before we're done. Thank Hayden for system redundancies. Well, that's that. Let's see if we can find a way into Mr. Otsuka's apartment ourselves. Mr. Otsuka's apartment is on the second floor. The fire escape should give us access to his window. We just need something to let us reach it. I'm sure there's some piece of detritus or loose end laying around we could use. Oh, that's how these things always work.
You weren't prepared for the weather, huh?
About that.
You want my umbrella?
Not for the weather. We need to use the hook handle to reach the fire escape ladder so we can pull it down.
Oh, you live here and lost your key card, huh?
Yeah,
I
totally.
understand. I do that all the time. But look, as much as I'd love to give you this umbrella, I'm kinda using it right now. Where I come from, see, we're all about equal trades. It's part of our culture.
Gym culture?
Sorry, but unless you've got anything interesting to exchange for it, I'm gonna hold on to this. Don't want to get wet.
Should I try to give away the headphones?
That's the only thing I can think of that's actually of any value.
Yeah.
These are pretty cool, but I'm not big into music. I like video games more. There's no mic on this headset.
Tase him.
Maybe.
Hey, is this real? The real Yannick Fairlight?
You know him?
Of course I do! He's one of the most innovative tech minds of the last few generations!
That's all.
Can I please have this? I'll give you the umbrella. Yours to keep if you want.
Wow.
I think it's a fair trade.
Thanks! Here you go. This is so exciting! I'm gonna go call him right now!
He's gonna be so pissed.
Hey, we got what we wanted.
Maybe that wasn't the best idea. Oh well, now we have our tool, and a pretty spiffy one at that. Let's go! Excellent work! This window is unlocked. Let's go in.
Oh, what's that smell?
I'm not sure.
Oh no.
My olfactory sensors detect chemicals associated with decaying food and something else I can't pin down. It's unfamiliar to me.
I think that light, the green thing is probably the light switch.
Yeah. Fancy news feed of multiple streams on the mesh idly plays on the TV muted. This window is open and leads to the fire escape. Christmas tree might be small but has lots of spirit.
Charlie Brown.
This panel controls the lights and air conditioning of the whole apartment.
That's better.
Oh.
Ew, what the heck?
And is that ROM isn't cleaning it?
Let's take a look around.
Does that look a sandwich?
Antique wub speakers. They use actual wires to connect to the receiver.
Huh.
Be careful, if you accidentally disconnect them, you'll never be able to get those things working again. A vintage York's amp. It has a connector for plugging in old phones. A collection of books about writing on writing good.
Wow. So it looks like there's somebody in that chair.
Yeah, I know. You fiddle with the dial? Old food. An old greasy bag of to and fro, a fast food chain the state is famous for. Flies are circling like vultures. Shitaro's ROM, it called itself LJ2, right? It doesn't respond to your touch and there's no power switch.
Interesting.
The ROM just sits there. It appears to be powered down.
So who we talked to wasn't actually LJ2?
Yeah, maybe.
Shotaro must be plugged into the mesh. He hasn't even noticed us. I feel like I could scream without him knowing. Ah! Hi! Mr. Otsuka! Nothing.
Hello, guest. Shotaro has been a bit under the weather recently,
oh, Lord.
So he has not been receiving anyone. He is trying very hard to keep up with his deadlines, but I will check and see if he has a moment to speak with you.
We just checked, and he seems busy.
Is there anything else I might assist you with? A drink, perhaps?
How long has your owner been ill? Is your owner still making blog updates? When was your last diagnostic check?
Shotaro has been under the weather for some time, but I could not tell you precisely when. He rarely has visitors or goes on outings, so this is only slightly abnormal behavior for him. In fact, you are the first visitor he has had in a while. Several days, in fact. Perhaps you could ask him about it yourself. I will check and see if he has a moment to speak with you. He is. Shotaro is a diligent man, even in the face of such adversity. If you are a reader of his work, his next significant piece will be going online tomorrow. I will not spoil it for you.
And they said something about being ghost-ridden, right?
I run regular self-checks and have noticed no irregularities in either my hardware or software. I appreciate your concern. If you think I am behaving erratically, perhaps you could mention it to Shotaro. He is skilled at maintenance. Very well. Let me know if you need anything. I'm always happy to assist.
Yep.
Oh no, we're too late.
He did.
It looks like he's been here for a couple of days, maybe a little longer. That means whoever did this did it before we even found out about all of this. Stabbed in the chest, right through the back of the chair. Looks like it severed his carotid artery. I don't want to make any assumptions, but I can't help but wonder if this was done by the same person who assaulted Zin. His ROM doesn't even think anything is wrong. We need to hurry. If I'm right, everyone we've talked to so far is in more danger than we thought. Someone is following us. We'll have to find his computer so I can see if I can pull anything relevant off of it. You interrogate his ROM. Maybe you can find out why it's acting so strange.
Shotaro has been a bit under the weather recently, so he has not been receiving anyone.
That's true.
Yeah.
He is trying very hard to keep up with his deadlines, but I will check and see if he has a moment to speak with you.
That's okay. We'll wait.
Is there anything else I might assist you with? A drink, perhaps?
itself down again. Let's see if we can pull some useful information off of Mr. Otsuka's computer. If we can find it. No wonder he was stacking up the food like this.
This is just getting darker and darker.
Yep.
Yeah, it's still not as dark as yeah, it's still not as dark as Jess's story, but I'm gonna say finding a corpse that's been stabbed through the back and the chest, pretty dark.
What a black death are shelves. It's touch sensitive. The entire desk must be Mr. Saku's computer.
Jeez.
I'll start downloading these files. I finished my examination of Mr. Otsuka's computer. I didn't find anything particularly interesting, but I copied some files to be examined later. If we're all done here, we should hurry and go warn Nanya about what we found. Charlie and Sympathy, too. They might be in immediate danger, so we must act fast. Let's head for Nanya's business.
What's his face? Oh, yeah, but he left to go call.
Yeah.
Shit! What the hell are you doing back here? Wait, let me guess. You stole some of my files, or hacked my brain, or used telepathy or some shit. Found out someone else got hit by your little ghost in the machine, and when you got there, found out he was deader than new disco. That close enough?
That was actually pretty
That was pretty
on.
accurate, yeah.
That is distressingly accurate.
Well, it wasn't much of a damned guess. Charlie Nova is dead.
Oh, crud.
What? Charlie is...
The auto cab he was in drove him right off the bridge and into the bay. It's been all over the news for the last 10 minutes, and I'm not looking to be next. I'm getting the hell out of Neo-SF, and I'm gonna forget that I ever saw you, ever knew Charlie, ever gave a shit about any of this. Hell, maybe I'll pick up a new career. I'm less likely to get murdered for being a fry cook. That's for damn sure.
Fair.
Have a good life!
Oh!
Oh
So...
no! No! Why is this happening?
Yeah, that's a good
freaking
question.
Dark.
There was no one in that car. No heat signatures, no wireless emissions, nothing. That wasn't even an auto cab. It's a manual. I don't know. That's it. This is too much. I've had enough. I don't care who's controlling the news anymore. Almost everyone we've talked to so far has died, and I can't live with any more blood on my hands. We're not investigating this lead any further. As of right now.
It's not our fault touring okay if that's what you want. So that's it, you're just gonna give up just like that?
I mean, I would immediately start with it's not our fault, but that's me.
Logically, I know that. We haven't set out to harm anyone. But someone is using us as a stalking horse, hiding behind our investigation to clean up whatever this is. If they want to keep taking out people involved in this, they're going to have to dig them up without our help. We don't have any other leads anyway. Thank you for sticking with me, though. We have more pressing avenues of inquiry to make.
The Pale Rider.
Let's move on.
So this, I believe, is the end of our chapter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see how long before we can save.
Right. Alright, so we're basically ending our investigation into who's manipulating the news media because people
we should
keep
go to Melody's
freaking
home
dying.
and at least meet her.
Oh.
Oh,
Apparently,
wow.
like, now.
Usually you have to sit through like an hour more of gameplay before you can save.
I like that, just dialogue. But yeah. Alright. Well, this has been chapter 3 of Read Only Memory. And, geez. What was one death revealed in the previous chapter has racked up to a body count of 4 now?
Yeah.
5? 5.
I wonder if we should have played the other one first.
I don't know. I don't know.
Alright, well,
thank you for joining us. I'm Joe.
and I'm Ashley.
And this has been our Chapter 3 playthrough of Read Only Memory. We'll be back next week with Chapter 4?
Yep.
Alright. Only a handful of weekends left in October.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye!